Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another tutorial. This is another inspired video. I really love that we get to share inspiration kind of universally over YouTube, and I watch Julie over at Jools Designs a lot, and she did this Z-fold tag that I absolutely fell in love with, because I love a lot of writing space in a low profile sort of way. So I feel like my camera is a little bit too far, so I'm just going to scooch that. So this is the prototype. This is going to go in my reference journal that we'll be working on soon. So basically it opens up like this, and you've got these three beautiful panels if you so choose. And I put a belly band, a pocket, and a pocket. I just pulled some old embossed paper out of my stash, and it worked perfectly with the tones in the tag, the digital. I just picked this, so let me back up a second. I went through all my drawers of scraps, and I kind of sorted them, like coffee dyed scraps, coffee dyed partial papers, full pages, things that have just been separated from their original kits. I put in a drawer, as well as a bunch of vellum stuff that's been printed. And then I have another drawer of the smaller scraps. So I think that's going to work out well. So I dipped into my full page scraps and used that digital. And so then when you fold it, it goes like this. It's a Z fold, and it goes like this. Now it doesn't look all that pretty on the back, just because you've got this busyness with the tucks, the things that are tucked into that pocket. But if you open it all the way up, you've got all that writing space. So I love that so much. And what I'm gonna do with these, I think, is I'm gonna have them be a floating item. It could also go in a pocket. It's not, I mean, it's a little bit thickish, but it's not horrible compared to some of the things that I make. So, but I think I'm going to put a rusty paper clip on the edge and clip it to a page. But this one's going to go in my reference journal. So I'm going to just set that up there. So we are going to do 3 on camera, but we're only going to decorate 1. So just because I've had some people say, oh, I would really love to see the decorating as well, but it takes too long to decorate all the pieces that I make. So we will decorate 1. So I've got my circle punch if I want to cut some divots for pockets. I've got my Fabri-Tac, my Barely Arts, my ink, which is Vintage Photo Archival ink. I like archival because I do a lot of mixed media, and it's permanent and will not run with other wet mediums. I've got a ruler just to show you the measurements, my bone folder, a bit of seam binding to do a little bit of decorating on our one piece. I've also got my corner rounders and stuff over here to the right. And I picked just a couple of bits from my scraps here that we'll be using to put in the pockets. Potentially, this is just some of my embossed paper, so just pulled it out of the drawer. So, and I also have an entire pouch of ruby and pearl scraps, so I might be pulling from that as well. So, backstory here, I'm going to be doing a journal swap with Yvonne over at Memory Journals by Yvonne. She is in the Netherlands, and she's always wanted to be in on the drawings when I do a drawing, but I don't ship to the Netherlands. I mean, I haven't to this point. So we decided to go ahead and do a journal swap. So this is what I'm going to be making for her. So I'm going to be doing some things on camera, and she's okay with that, even though it will be a sneak peek for her into the journal, but that's okay. So, and then again, this is who I watched, Julie over at Jools Designs. So, and JT Creations, I believe, is, that doesn't display on her YouTube, but that's when she announces herself, it's Julie at Jools Designs and JT Creations. I listened to her a lot, so I have it memorized. So I went ahead and pulled an image from a bunch of kits from Ruby and Pearl. Primarily, that's what I'm going to be using for Yvonne's journal. Some of these kits I already had myself, and then some of them I did purchase, which is perfect because I love Ruby and Pearl stuff, and so I'm happy to have it in my stash. So this is the one that we're going to be decorating on camera. It's going to measure, the full piece is 7 1/4 by 9 inches wide, so our folds will be at 3-inch increments. And then this one is going to be 7 3/4 inches wide by 9, folded at 3. And let me back up. This image is from Beautiful Birds Kit. I'm trying to stay with that, sharing the kits because I link so much in the video description. Where did this come from? I think that's an extra piece. This one's from Vintage Romance, and it measures 7 3/4 by 9 inches with the fold at 3, because I don't like to do odd measurements, so I just cut my paper width this way to be able to get an even increment for my folds. You could do whatever you choose. And then this is the last one. This is measuring 8 1/4 by 10 1/2, and we'll be doing a 3.5 inch increments for our folds, which it matches the size of my prototype. And this is from Ruby and Pearl French Blue Kit. So let's go ahead. We're going to do 2 where I just can show you the folds a couple of times, and then we'll do the third one and decorate it. So I'm going to just set that one up there. And I do need to move my keyboard just in case I hit it somehow, which is potentially possible. Where do I put it? I've got so much stuff going on here. It's crazy. Okay, there we go. I'm surrounded by all the bits I've been playing this morning. We're in the middle of a weather event, so right now it is freezing rain. We've got snow, and it looks like we're in for a few days of pretty extreme weather here. So hopefully I don't lose power and I can create to my heart's content, and do videos and get kind of ahead of the 8 ball there. So I'm just setting some of this stuff out of my way because, again, I've got too much because I need to bring the scoreboard over. So I did just purchase this. This is actually something I saw on Julie's channel, and I've had other tools where it's been the scoreboard and the cutter in one, but they were lousy. This is a We Are Memory Keeper. I love it. Absolutely love it. So we're going to score this one is, where did my note go? Oh my word, 8 1/4 by 10 1/2. So this one's going to be, oh my goodness, what did I do with the Post-it note? Oh, there it is. 8 1/4 by 10 1/2. So we're going to score and fold at 3.5 inches. So we are going to score, and this looks a little bit weird because it should really go this way. I mean, visually, but I think it's going to be okay to do that. So I'm just going to open this up, and we're going to go ahead and score. I can find my score thing, and we're going to score at 3.5 inches. And let me pull that down so you guys can see. I'm still getting used to it, so I'm not trusting where this is supposed to start. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3.5. So I'm just going to score there. If it's off, you can just cut off the edges. It's really awesome. And then I'm going to ink this edge up because I did have trouble seeing it when I went to do my next score line. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a press there. Like so. And we've got a little line. I love the brown against the blue. I know I've been raving about that recently with my other journals, the winter journals. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3.5. So we're going to go here. Let me check that again. 1, 2, 3.5. Right here. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. You can make these whatever size you want, obviously. So I just thought, as I mentioned before, I love large tags. I love large journal spaces. And so it suits me well to have it be adjustable in height. So you can do that however you want. And you could also have your tags be a little bit narrower than we're doing here. So it's now in its form. Let me go ahead and ink this up really quick. I'm going to do that all the way around. I'll be right back. Okay, we are almost ready to move along. I forgot to look up what kit this was from. It's just this kind of vintagey looking paper I used for the back, but I will look that up. So then our gatefold is going to go like this. Okay, so it's going to open like that. And I'm going to, what I did on the other one is I because now we need to cut off to make these stagger. Okay, so I don't remember how Julie did it in terms of the dimensions, but I'm going to just measure a 1 inch down from the top here. So I'm just going to go boom. Okay, and then I'll make a line there too. Well, actually, let's just do that first, because otherwise I will get all turned around. No, not me. Just gonna make a line because I can just cut that by hand. Hopefully that's straight. Looks to be okay. And then the next one, we're gonna go down 1 inch from there. So I'm just gonna use that as a guide and go make a mark here. Okay, like that. And then we're gonna do the same. Oh, I probably should make my line across here. I'm hoping that this is straight. I've got a funky ruler here. Should be fine. Make a line here. Okay, and then we're going to go down 1 more inch and make a line there, and again go over. It does not have to be precise, guys, but I am going to butt this ruler up to the edge here so that I make sure that I get a straight line. There we go. Okay. Boom. I'm going to look at this one again because I feel like it's not straight. Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, it's a little off. I'm going to move that line a little bit. Let me just do that again. I don't want it to be uneven if I can help it. So let's try that again. Boy, this is the hardest part right here. It seems. There we go. That seems better just by visually looking at it. So now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut those lines. So I'm going to cut across and then up and remove that whole top piece. So scissors, where did you go? Okay, so I'm going to go across that penciled line. And it would be really cool. You could almost go like that and have a whole different thing, but we're not gonna go there today. So I'm just gonna cut down that inked line, fold line. So please, please, please go over and check out Julie over at Jools Designs because she's amazing. She has a little bit of a different style than I do, but it doesn't mean that we can't glean inspiration, right? And I watch her a lot. I really like her content. She's a very experienced card maker and scrapbooker, so she's got a lot of experience on board that she brings to her craft table. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to do the same here, and then we'll talk about our tag cuts in a second. Looks like I'm having to go onto the right side of this folded line because otherwise you get kind of a weird, funky thing going on there. So I'm just going to go a little bit further over there. I can hold on to these. We might be able to use them for something else. And then our last one is this one, which again I'm hoping is straight. Perfect. Okay. We can ink everything else up here in a second. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. So I cut a new credit card or a gift card because I lost the last one. And so I cut just 4 different size of tab shapes. So that one I feel is a little bit too small. That one looks about right, actually. So I'm just lining this up to this edge so that it stays straight to the top. It's hard because I can't put my head down when I'm working alone. I can put my head down, but not when I have the camera in. I would bonk my head with my camera. It's on a little arm that hangs off of a shelf in front of me. Okay, so now we're going to go. Oh, which one did I have? That one. Okay. Go over here and do the same. I love this project so much, you guys. So beautiful. Now I do embellish mine a little bit differently than she does or than some other people do, but that's just my style. I can't deny that. I am going to be incorporating my own style into Yvonne's journal, but I'm also going to do some of the scrappy work with the Ruby and Pearl digitals, because I do know how to do that. I've done tab books and things like that before, so using their stuff. So we'll be doing a little bit of both. Okay, so now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut that corner. Okay, and if things are not perfect, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Okay. I really like the first one I made. I might put that in her journal. I haven't decided, but one of them will go into the reference journal for sure. Okay, so let me get that up there because I lost the last one. So let me ink up these edges as well, and I'll be right back and we will do the next one. Well, let me show you first. So again, this is what it looks like. On the back, it's the same deal. You've got this beautiful writing space. So when I come back after inking, we're going to do one more just basic folding in case you want to see that one more time, and then we'll go on to the third one and do the decorating together. I'm trying to find a way to bring all the content that you guys want. So that's why I decided to go ahead and decorate one on camera. So this one lined up really, really well. It's a little bit wide or a little bit narrow on this edge. I'm not sure why that happened, and I can't affect it because I can't cut that off because it's the fold. So, but I don't care. It's fine. So we will decorate that one up off camera, and you'll be able to see the photos for all of the bits that I'm making at the end of the video. So let's get this one over here. This is a little bit of a different dimension. It's not going to be a huge, like, you know, big deal. It's just different size. So this one's going to be, this one measures 7 3/4 by 9. So we're still going to fold it at the 3-inch line. So let me get my direction right. So that is 7 3/4. So this is the way we want to score it. So I'm going to pull the scoreboard over one more time. Okay, hopefully you guys can see. So again, we're going to score at 3 inches. If I didn't say that, I feel like I'm being a little repetitive. So again, I'm going to start at that 1-inch mark because I feel like I can safely say that that's right. So 1, 2, 3. So we're going to score at 4 in this case. Okay, and then I should be able to see that one because it's lighter. It's a lighter print. So 1, 2, 3. So at 7. Okay. Get this scoreboard out of the way. So we're going to fold this one this way. Give it a good crease. And we're going to fold this one this way. This has, I think this is just some coffee dyed paper. It will be linked. I moved, Liana Scraps has an entire batch of amazing coffee dyed and tea dyed paper, and I'm going to be linking that for the supplies for this project. This one is off too. Look at that, but you can't cut that because it's the fold. So, but we're gonna be okay with it. So let me just ink this up really quick. Okay, so that one is all inked up. I love this image. Beautiful, right up my alley. So again, we're going to go ahead and measure 1 inch down on each of these, 1 inch from each other. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pencil mark. Let's move that over more to the edge of this so that we can get a line. So 1 inch. And then I can just go like this. My 2-inch mark is right here, so I'm going to go right here. Okay, and then our 3-inch mark is a little trickier, so I'm going to do that. And let me make my line. Goodness gracious. Probably not the best ruler to get a straight edge. Let me try this one. Yeah, this might be a little bit better to get a straight edge because I can actually see everything on the edge of this ruler, versus the other one is it's a little roughed up, so harder to tell. I was a little off, but that's okay. Again, perfection is not at play in the studio. Okay. And then we're going to go again an inch down from this mark. You could do that smaller. You wouldn't have to have them to cascade in the same way that I am in terms of the height. You could totally play around with that and see what you favor. But I just liked this. I thought it was perfect. It was the perfect dimensions in my opinion. And there. Okay. I'm just going to cut those in the same manner as we did the other one. I'm going to be doing some dangles using embossed paper strips, so that will be a video coming up as well. I'm hoping that my power stays on so that I can continue creating today and get some things scheduled and on the channel. Card. So let's do this again. Shall we do the same one? I think so. That seemed to work. I think that's the same one. It might be a different one. So you just turn it. You want to make sure you turn it over, right? If you haven't used this little trick, which I'm sure if you're following, most of you know. But I don't do backwards very well, so then I have to make sure I check it again because I just don't. I don't track backwards. Really weird. Look at that edge. That is strange. What the heck happened there? Let's see if I can ink that up and make it a little bit less. I think it's how I trimmed that. So let me just nip that right there, just that little bit. I want to be very careful because that's my fold and I could wreck this. It feels like my paper's cracking is part of the problem. So it at least looks a little bit better. I don't know why that one's not even, but it's not, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and do the third one, which is the one we're going to do from beginning to end, and we'll decorate it together. So this one is 7 1/4 by 9, so it's similar to the one we just did. So that being said, I'm just trying to figure out what happened with that one. I'm not sure why we got those weird folds, but I'm going to bring the scoreboard over here again, and I'm trying to think about the most critical folds would be these folds because you can't trim them down. So I'm thinking if I just go a little bit wider in this area, I might be able to solve that problem. So I'm going to just go ahead and line this up, and I'm going to go, this is the edge I can cut off though. Interesting. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to think about that. So we've got 1, 2, 3 inches. I'm going to have to ink that one up so I can see it. And we'll do that again. So we're lining that back up and going 1, 2, 3 again. Oh, this is not the right measurements. What the what? Do you see that? What did I do? That's 3 inches though. Huh. 1, 2, 3, and that would be 3 again. I'm long here. I must have measured this wrong. Let's look at this. Oh, it's 10 1/2. I wrote that note wrong. Okay, doggone it. Oh, that's a bummer. So we're gonna have to just change this to the smaller size. My apologies, guys. That was weird. I wrote my Post-it note wrong. So no sweat. So 1, 2, 3 at 7 inches. That's a bummer because I really was looking forward to having this one be the normal, not normal, but the size that I was anticipating, I guess. So just going to fold this. Give that a different crease because we got a little bit wonky there. Give that a good press. And then I'll trim that off here in a second, and just making sure that this one's straight, and it is. We're binding a little bit there though, so that is a problem. Except it's not, because it's going to fold. It's going to fold differently. So let me ink this up so we can see this edge. Okay, and then we'll do the whole inking here in a minute. So it's going to go like, oh my goodness gracious. Very strange. Why am I having trouble thinking about this? There we go. Boy, oh boy. Something's not even here though. Oh my word. But I can trim off that edge. I just can't trim off the middle. So let's see how we've got a little bit overhanging there. Actually, I don't mind that in this case, just for the look that I'm going for with her journal. So that's okay. I'm going to straighten it a little bit here. There we go. So now this is way wide. Way wide. Actually, I wonder if we could leave that. Why not? No, that would look weird. Let's stick with the plan, Cara-Renee. So I'm just going to make a pencil line here. Just cut off that excess. That was a bummer. I had high hopes for this one. But it's okay. The size doesn't matter. It does not matter. Boy, oh boy. So it is so cold here, guys. It never gets this cold. I think it's down to about 19 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just not characteristic for us here in the Northwest at all. So it's very surprising. We're in for a stormy weekend, probably all the way to Tuesday. Okay, so why am I having, again, we're having trouble. Is that the right direction? Yeah, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter. Our birds are kind of weird and wonky anyway, so it goes like that. So I'm actually loving this edge here because of the kind of thing I'm going for here. So let's go ahead and cut our, measure this out and cut, and I'm going to speed through that since you guys have already seen it twice, and I will be right back. Do you ever look at on your desk for something and you're like, I don't see it, but it's right there? Well, that was me trying to find my fussy cut scissors a second ago. So I'm curious, like, what is the weather like where you're at right now? I know that there's a lot of the United States that are in some weather issues, but curious. I know there's somebody over on one of the Facebook groups, Lenore, and she's like, what did she say, negative 27 Celsius? I don't even know what that equates to in Fahrenheit, but oh my goodness. We never go negative here. We rarely get down into the 20s. So yeah, that's crazy. Craziness. I'm just trying to hold that. I'm having trouble getting that in there. Goodness gracious. Oh boy, that was kind of weird. Okay. That's all right. So, let me ink this back up since we cut off a lot of those edges, but it's okay to do that. I could have waited on the top edges, but it's all right. It's all good. I'm looking for a way to kind of make this a little bit more even more special. So I might be playing around with another one off camera and see what I can create as far as some other interesting elements to the structure. And I love this light paper on the back for writing. Now, with my prototype, you would obviously have to take things out of the pockets in order to turn it over and write in it, but the pockets themselves should not be a huge issue. The big one on the front might be a little bit, but there we go. That is so cool. I love it. I actually think I want to put a little piece of lace on there. Let me see if I've got something that I can use here. Oh, look at that. Look at that, just hanging out. It's just hanging out, waiting, saying, use me, use me. I'm the last of the supply. What about if we did that? Except we have to be careful because maybe I put the belly band on this one. Maybe I'll do that so that I can use this lace. Because she's just sitting here and she's crying out saying, I feel neglected. I'm the last of the children of this piece, and all my family has found new homes, so use me, use me. Okay, okay, I will use you. In all kindness, I will use you. There we go. I'm going to just place that on there. Creates a little bit of bulk, but I don't mind it. It's worth it to me, just to get that little element in there. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's perfect. Perfecto. I'm going to let that bottom part hang off. I think that's going to be okay, because this will, again, will be a clip-on. I'm going to grab a rusty paper clip right now while I'm thinking about it. I bought these off of from an Etsy shop. Oh, there's a paper clip. I mean a safety pin. There we go. They tend to get knotted up in there though. So let's see. There we go. We've got one right there. So let me just trim this edge off, and then we're going to continue to decorate this beauty. I love this lace so much. It was from my first Etsy, or not Etsy, estate sale. And I adore it. Absolutely adore it. So I wonder what we want to do. Maybe we do want to put a little pocket there. Let me pull this corner up here, and I think I'm going to slide a little pocket in there, and then I'll glue that bit on top of the pocket. So where did my little bits go that I was going to use? So I've got these papers. So I was thinking this would be really pretty, but I actually think this would be kind of cool too. I want to do something kind of roughish though. So I printed a few of the background papers on 20-pound paper, which gives me some flexibility for being able to fold it and do the cool tears and stuff that happen. So I'm going to reach and grab my tear ruler here, and I'm just going to tear off these edges. Okay, so let's get this over here. Feeling like I just want to use a bit of this. I don't like that edge though. I'll use that some of that embossed paper. You know what? Maybe I should use the embossed paper because I have enough. Let's see if we have enough to use this. So if I wanted to put this pocket on the front, I think we do. Let's just go ahead and use this just for some uniformity. So I'm going to get my, I have this makeup brush that I use to do this so that I can just go on the surface of this embossing. So I'm going to do that just to highlight all that beautiful texture. This is an old piece I've had in my stash in my drawer for a while. Again, I organized, so now I have a little bit better sense of where everything is again. Not that my studio is ever a mess, but sometimes when you have so much stuff, you have to reevaluate what's functional for you, and that's what I did. I love this edge over here. Oh my goodness, that's so yummy. So I want to save that for the front because, oh, look at that. Oh, delicious. I'm going to make a mark here. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that off, hoping that the other edges are straight. I'm just reaching over here, guys. I'm not going to bring the trimmer on camera every time. Oh, this is so beautiful. No, they're upside down. What happened? Oh, this way. Oh, we lost our corner there. Must have been a piece of embossing. That's okay. So I'm going to reach in my scrap drawer and see if I can find a piece of book page. I should have got that out before I turned the camera on, but I didn't. So I want something. You know what? Actually, I'm going to grab something out of my vintage drawer, some things from Vanessa. So I'll be right back. Here's some old book page from her. Oh, I just love it. Look at that grunge. It's wonderful. So what I want to do is actually, I want to make this a little bit rough on the top. Embossed paper can be tricky to tear because it's going to try to tear along the embossing perforations that have been made in the piece. And I'm debating on how tall I want this pocket to be. So I'm actually thinking I want to leave it like that. I love that right there. So let's just go full on here. But I want to put a little bit of book page behind that and do a little bit of that peeking out as well. So I'm going to just rough tear it. Ooh, it's very fragile. Ooh, boy. It's just, wow. I wonder how old this is. I don't know. Actually, I think I just want it just like that. So I'm going to grab my ruler, and I'm just going to use the straight ruler for now. I'm just going to tear down that edge, okay? I don't want to tear down the whole piece of the book page though, because it's so amazing, and I might limit how I can use it if I do that. So I'm just going to stick that there and do the rest, and I'm going to move this like so. I think I'm going to really enjoy doing this journal for Yvonne because I love the style. I really love it, and I feel like it fits me. Oh, I've got a tear there. Boy, oh boy. Hopefully that's going to be okay. I may have to raise that up a little bit. Actually, let me get a piece of my H tape to fix that. My apologies for the up and down. It's hard to have everything within reach, you know. So I have this whole area over there that has like a bunch of these that have a lot of the most common things that I use. And so I got a piece of H tape right there stuck to this. Let's just pull that off. Let's use it. Oh my goodness, what happened? There we go. Let's just get that in there and just fix her up. This actually doesn't have to be the full size of the pocket, but because the book page is so fragile and the embossed paper is actually quite fragile, I want to do that. I think I want to get a little bit of color in here if I can. So let me see if I can find a scrap of this that would work. Because I want it to pop up there and be pretty. This is 65-pound paper, so I am not going to be able to tear that. Save my life. So we are going to just go with what we have here. Maybe we could stick a little bit of, yeah, I don't know. We're just going to go with this. We're running short on time here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this to the back of the pocket. So that's really fragile up there though, guys. I didn't think about that. That's very, very fragile. We need to back that piece there. So Let me get a strong piece of paper over here. See if I can stabilize that by tearing this. Again, a rough tear. It might just be another layer that sits behind that paper. I'm just going to use my big scissors to get rid of some of that white. I know you can tear away from you, but I always forget, so I just deal with it. There we go. We don't want that to be weak, okay? Because I wasn't thinking about that. So this is actually perfect. Look at that beautiful layer. And it's not gonna, because all of the stuff that's on the back is going down, it should not affect anything going in the pocket. So I'm just gonna trim off that extra bit there. And beautiful. That will stabilize that pocket perfectly. So I'm gonna make a pencil line here so I know how far my glue needs to go down. And I'm just going to put glue all the way up. Shall we trim it? I probably should. Let's trim that off a little bit. Oh my goodness, we'll stick some beauties in these pockets here in a second. So I think I'll do a belly band here, and I'll use this other paper and do a side tuck here. So let me just trim the bottom of this off because it's not the prettiest part. Okay. And then I really don't want it to be a rough edge necessarily, because it's not going to show, because we're going to kind of try to tuck it under that lace like that. So how tall do we need it to be? Let me just use this as my guide since this is the same level. I'm going to go ahead and go over this with the ink in the same way I did before. I love this piece though because it's got, oh, this is actually debossed. Let me show you this. The side that I'm using is actually the debossed side, which is actually quite cool. That's the embossed side, and this is the debossed side. Can you see the difference? Let me show you the difference. This is embossed. This is debossed. Very cool. That was not intentional. Not intentional at all. Okay, so I'm going to pull that back a little bit more. And boom. Boom, boom, boom. A little bit more. Oh, I love that corner so much. Wowza. To figure out something to put there though. So we just hit the 1 hour mark. So when that happens, the monitor goes to sleep. So I had to wake that up. I'm going to grab my little ruler and make sure that our pocket is not obstructed. So you do have to use some ease here when you're putting stuff in and out of that, but I think it's perfect. So here, do I have a piece of vellum I could use? For, I was actually thinking this was kind of cool. We could make a belly band, but then you cover up so much of the image. I think I will use it, and I'll just make it pretty narrow. So I'm going to just reach over to my cutter and trim this off in width a bit. It's going to be a pretty small, narrow belly band, but I like that black marking. This is also a scrap from Ruby and Pearl. So I'm actually going to kind of center it a little bit, and I'm going to make a mark for my cut line. And here. And then we'll put some things in these pockets and such, and then we'll be done for the day. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Wow. Sweet. So we're going to put just a little bit of glue here on the top and the bottom. And try to center it. I don't worry about perfection. It's nice when you've got a tag shape though that it kind of lines up evenly. Just looks a little bit better. But that's okay. We're a little bit short there too, so it's all right. So there's our belly band. So I already pulled some things from the stuff that I cut for her journal. What did I do with the ones I pre-selected? Where are they? Maybe I put them back in the box. I think I did. I think they're just sitting here on the top. I also spent some time fussy cutting, and this is one of the compendium kits from Love Junk Journals, and I thought these would be nice. They're a little bit big though. There is a size down. Let's see what the size down would look like. That would actually fit, maybe, because now our pocket's narrower than I had intended. So I think we'll pause on those and see what we can do with some of these images. So I just love this, oh, so much. So much. Let me just show you what we got here. That bird, those birds would be gorgeous. This would be very pretty too, but I'd have to trim it down quite a bit. She would be pretty right there on that, where was I thinking? I'm gonna get my circle punch and punch that. Hold on. Hopefully this is the right size. It looks like it is. It is. Sweet. First one I grabbed. It doesn't happen very often. Sweet. Love it. Let's see where we could put this. I actually was thinking it would be kind of cool right here. Actually, I really like that. What do you guys think? Or here. I don't want to cover up all that embossing. See how I got one size down for this? Make it a little bit smaller. I don't know if I do. Right here. This is one smaller, so let's see if we can get this in here without it looking all weird and too small. So come on, you can do it. Get in there. Maybe not. Well, this is an interesting quandary because I don't have very much, I don't have anything to grab onto. I think that looks pretty good, so let's just go ahead and punch that. Because I feel like I want it here, but I don't want it to overtake anything, so I'm just going to ink it up. Even though it's really dark, I'm going to make sure I don't see any white core around it. And we're going to put that right there. Yummy. I love it. I love it. I'm actually going to put that scrap right there too. We may as well let her be with her sister here. The last of the sisters. The last of the sisters of this beautiful vintage lace stuff. I'm sorry, I'm too low. When I get to decorating, I do tend to kind of get into myself and I forget that I'm on the camera. So let's go ahead and just plop that right there. Oh, she's so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, so now I keep getting, I keep doing the squirrel thing. So let's see what else we have that might fit well into these pockets. I'm feeling like I really want to accentuate this with some yellow tones for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and trim her down just a little bit to fit in that little belly band. Sorry, I didn't even think to label the embellishments because I didn't know what I was going to use. But every kit that I use from Ruby and Pearl will be linked. So, unfortunately, I did not think to do that. Oh, that's so beautiful. I really like this, but it is too wide. I wonder if we can trim it down without compromising anything or making it look weird. Let's try it because I love this little book. That edge. So I think I want to use it. I'm just going to trim a little bit off of this edge. Yeah, I think it's okay. I got a stencil stuck to my jacket. I've got this lacy jacket on. Okay, so this is cool. I love this little booklet thingy. I could have resized it, but I only printed it in one size, so we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so we may move this little lady. I'm not sure. We might move her. Is she too tall? I think she's too tall for this pocket. Yeah, and a little bit too wide. Will she fit in here? I'll have to trim her down again. It's okay. Let's slide that in there. I love it. Oh, we're a little tall though, so let me trim the bottom off as well. I don't worry about perfection even in the cut lines, you guys, so I figure it's a work of art, it's junk journal, it's handmade, all of those things, so I don't stress out about it. There we go. That is perfecto. So let's go ahead and trim her just a little bit off. Stick her in there. Got all these beautiful ladies sticking out here. I love it. So I may or may not add more to this. I may add another long tall tag, like maybe use this and make a tag out of it, but I'm not going to do that on camera. This one would actually be pretty, but I'd have to cut it off. So I think we're going to call it a day here. This is not all the stuff. It's just all the stuff I pulled out of here. This is all the ephemera from all the kits that I will be tapping into for this journal. So really, really cool. These are really cool, her petite strips. But yeah, this is all the stuff, all the beautiful stuff. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.